We have actually 5 steps for going agile. The first is, this methods should be used in your design thinking workshop when you are actually in front of customers and you are taking the requirements. The way you do it is really should be learned from experience. I think we have covered one run of a design thinking workshop in the project code itself, which you can actually go through. But for now, if I give you a brief idea about how it will look like in a workshop of design thinking, is first of all, you try to understand what your customer requires. At that point of time, you are most likely not having any judgment on the requirements. It's going with an open mind. And once your customer starts to give requirements, it can be like, I want to build a visualization dashboard to get my sales. I want to build a dashboard where I can increase my revenue. That's all. The requirements are similar to a open-ended question. You can have an open-ended question there, but it might not make any sense in terms of technical aspect. But therefore, we are calling it a user story. We are not even calling requirement at the first phase. We are specifically calling it as a user stories. So once you get those user stories right in the first step, which is understanding, then in the second phase, you go into a level where you are exploring. You are having multiple stories. I think Project Code, we have about 14 or 15 user stories, which are like bullet points of how the features should be. And then you are juggling through it, finding out how the final application or the application which you are trying to build will look like. And then once you got an idea or a direction to go, you then try to build a prototype. So instead of really investing a lot of time and effort on how basically you go and finish the project, you try to build a prototype to show it to user and get a validation from them. So you get a validation from the user, and then they are basically seeing your prototype and maybe commenting on it, and then trying to say, okay, I don't need this particular graph there. Can we shift it somewhere else? I don't need the orders to be placed in my home screen. Can you shift it to the second screen? Or I need also a confirmation or a flag there. So all the small changes will be coming once you evaluate and sit with the customer and evaluate the design. And this is the part where you have to go back again or might have to go back again to understand the requirement properly. So these are the 5 basic set of steps which you need to do it with customers. And once you have actually gone through the entire phase, and this can be a cycle as well until you get the final prototype made right, and your customer seems to be happy that, okay, this is exactly what I'm getting. Now, one thing I need to stress here is what will be a prototype. So should I build the entire application? Or should I build a demo of the application, or should I build just diagrams? So from our experience, I think the first prototypes should be basically sketches. You should start with sketches with wireframing. I think some of the popular UX sketching tools, I think it's mockup.com and Belasmic you can use, or you can use the PowerPoint itself. You copy the particular component and you put it there, and then you test it with the customer. And then once they get a feel about it, they see, okay, we have a pop-up here, we will be having a list here, and then press the list, we'll be seeing the detail screen there. So once you get those details out there, then you have to go back into evaluation phase again. And then once you get an idea about, okay, this is the final thing to be made, then you go and you start developing the application. So these are 5 steps to be made. I think more about how this need to be done we have covered in the project code.